Hello everyone, welcome to our Ask Mitra info session. Today I would like to talk a little bit about the question, which German language certificates are officially recognized when you would like to study in Germany. And I know that it's a bit confusing. There are so many different certificates, so many different language schools. So the question is, which of all these certificates that they're handing out are actually recognized and you can work with them? So in general, the situation is like that. Many study programs in Germany demand a certain level of German language. So the question basically is, which level do I need? And the other question is, which language certificates are recognized for applying for these study programs? The general distinction that you have to make is, am I applying for an international program or am I applying for a regular program? International programs are those programs that are specifically addressed at international students. So parts of them are, all of it is in English language. They have all kinds of different services around international students. And yeah, the content is really focusing on international students so that internationals can study together with Germans. The regular programs are those that have been around for many, many years at German universities. They are mostly aiming at German nationals, so German students. They're in German language, and so they are not specifically dedicated to international students. And as such, they are the demand of German language that you have to fulfill, the level you need is a lot higher than in the international programs. To make sure that you know which kind of requirements there are, you have to check out the website of the university. Normally, when you look at the study program that they're advertising or describing, you will also find all information you need about what level of language do you need, what other requirements regarding degrees or credit points and so on do you need, what do you have as a requirement regarding previous studies and so on. And there you will also find like, okay, is it in English language? Is it in German language? And if yes, what level of language do you actually need for those? So now coming to the different certificates that are out there. I'm pretty sure if you have dealt with the question of studying in Germany at a German university and you had a look at the different opportunities to learn German language, you might have come across one of or all of these terms that are mentioned here. So the so-called TestDaF, DSH, Goethe Zertifikat, DSD, and the telc Deutsch. So I would like to go a little bit more into detail and explain what are these different certificates and how can you use them, for what can you use them for your purposes. So coming first to the TestDaF. TestDaF is the so-called Test Deutsch als Fremdsprache, and it's organized by test centers worldwide in more than 100 countries. It's a standardized and centralized test, which is basically comparable to what you also have in the IELTS or TOEFL tests for English language. There are 3 different levels here: TDN 3, TDN 4, TDN 5. 5 is the highest level, so to say. For studying in regular programs, so German taught programs, mostly the requirement is the middle level, TDN 4. But to be sure, you have to check, okay, what is the specific program I'm applying for demanding as a German level. The next abbreviation, DSH, stands for Deutsches Sprachdiplom für den Hochschulzugang. That's a type of certificate that you cannot do in your home country, but you will actually do when you are in Germany or you have arrived in Germany. So it's organized by German universities, and it can often only be taken when you are already admitted to the university. So they have kind of like this check where they test you and the language level that you actually indicated in your application to see, are you actually fit to study in that program. There are again 3 different levels: DSH1, DSH2, DSH3, with DSH3 being the highest level. And here, for studying in regular programs in German language, mostly what most universities and programs ask for is DHA2. But again, this is not a general, that's not in general like that. You should definitely check and see what the specific program is demanding. Now coming to the so-called Goethe certificates, you've probably heard of, if you've ever tried to learn German in your home country, you will have come across the so-called Goethe Institute, which is a German language and culture institute around the world. So you have, in most of the countries, you have Goethe institutes worldwide, and they're also teaching German language. And they have different levels from A1 to C2, which is according to the Common European Reference Framework, where all languages are sorted from A1 lowest level to C2 professional or proficient language experience and language level. For the regular programs in German language, what you mostly need is level C2, so the highest level. So if you only start studying in German language, you might not be able to apply for the German language programs in Germany, but you still have the option for the international programs where the most of the universities actually only want to have like a level from A1 to maybe B1 or B2. But for the German programs, it's definitely C2. But again, that's not the case for all of the study programs. So have a look at the website and the particular program and see what the requirements are. Now coming to the next abbreviation, DSD, that's the so-called Deutsches Sprachdiplom. That's a little bit different because it's not a test you can actually take, but it's a kind of certificate that you get when you are enrolled in a school where that is accredited by the German government, and you learn German at that school, and then with getting the a certain with finishing your studies at this school, you will actually get a certificate which is called Deutsches Sprachdiplom. The first level is DSD1 and the second level is DSD2. And with DSD2, you are actually eligible to study at German universities in German language programs. DSD1 qualifies you for the so-called Studienkolleg. These are the preparatory courses that many German universities offer when, for example, your study background is not sufficient to be eligible to apply. You can enroll for the preparatory course, and there you get an additional training in maybe natural sciences or humanities or whatever your direction your study field is, and additionally you will learn German. And with the DSD1 you can directly apply for these kinds of Studienkollegs, because you already need a certain level of German language to actually be able to go through the Studienkolleg, which is a one-year training, after which you can actually then apply for regular programs in Germany. Now, finally, coming to the so-called telc Deutsch. Telc stands for the European Language Certificates. It's an institute, it's a company in Frankfurt that has developed those kind of tests, and they are provided by test centers and language schools worldwide. So they have their own test centers, but they also accredit language schools, or language schools get accredited so that they can take these kinds of tests. Again, the levels are similar to the Goethe certificate from A1 to C2, which is again according to the Common European Reference Framework that is applicable to all languages in Europe. And here there's a specific type of test and a specific type of certificate that you can use for applying for German programs in German universities, which is called telc Deutsch C1 Hochschule. Hochschule standing for university. I think that's kind of like the overview that you might need to be able to choose the right certificate, the right course, the right language school, and also to choose the right program, because with your level of German that you already have, you might be able to apply for certain programs and not be able to apply for certain other programs. So I would say that gives you some kind of overview to understand what the situation is. If you have any questions or any feedback, do leave us a comment. You can follow us on all our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course, YouTube, where you also see this video. And we would be happy to stay in touch, and please tune in for the next session that we will have coming up very soon.